What is poppin'? What's poppin', guys? Hey. Welcome, everybody on YouTube and on Twitch, man. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the streams, to the live recording of the Creative in God Mode podcast, man. This is episode 2. We are coming at you live in full effect right now. My man is locked into a game, it looks like. I got my man from VA, from the 7-5. You know what I mean? It's like my second home, man. Y'all make some noise in the chat for my man JusRZD, man. Y'all make some noise for him one time. He's in here in the building.
Yeah.
Let's go, man.
You up, you down, man?
Yeah. Let's go, man. Yes, sir. Well, man, for those of y'all who do not know, my name is Justin Mitchell. I am a Christian hip-hop artist, a creative in this space as well, outside of just being an MC. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we do, man. I'm trying to just continue to elevate the genre and the space, man. It meant so much to me in my beginning phase of my relationship with God, and trying to elevate some of these other Christian creatives out here, man. That's what the whole point of Creative in God Mode is about. The reason why this podcast exists is to kind of bridge the gap between faith, hip-hop, gaming, and content creation worlds, right? That's what we want to be able to do. And we know that when we get on the games, the God mode part of it is a little bit of twofold, right? We do what we do as creatives because we tap into this God mode, right? We're going in and we're tapped into what God would have us do with our craft. But when we're on the sticks at the same time, we tap in, we got to go God mode. We got to turn up. You know what I mean? Like, so shout out to one of my favorite animes, you know what I'm saying? Dragon Ball. I know you an anime head too, JusRZD. So we're going to talk about that here in a little bit, man. Are you locked into the game already, or?
I mean, I'm in here. I'm trying to. You said we was playing. You said we was playing chorus, so I'm trying to get.
He's trying to get used to it. He's trying to get used to it. He's like, man, now look, I'm locked in right now. I gotta get zoned out. Yes, sir. Hey, man, I feel you, bro. I feel you. Well, man, we're gonna definitely get some gaming in. That's for sure. But we're definitely gonna have a little bit of fun at the same time. So hopefully you're ready for that, because I got some things coming your way in chat. You guys got stuff coming your way, because we're gonna go ahead and fire this thing off right. We're gonna go ahead and start this off with a little bit of an icebreaker game. You know what I mean? We did this last week with Cannon, and this week we're gonna jump into it again with my man JusRZD. We're gonna go ahead, before we start diving into more of his story, into more of his journey as a creative and as a believer, we're gonna talk about a few things. And the first game that we're gonna play, is called Would You Rather. All right, and it's taking two things that we're gonna put up specifically for the chat. If you're over on Twitch, you guys will see this, and you guys can vote. And I highly encourage you, right? If you're in the chat, interact with it, right? Don't just sit there like a bump on the log and not just interact. You know what I mean? This is what this is supposed to be. It's an interactive stream for you guys watching. And if you're watching this on the VOD, on the playback, you guys got to tune in on the stream so y'all can be a part of some of this stuff, man, because it's mad fun. The chats are always lit. It's super cool, man. So here's what we're going to do. Would you rather? All right. First question is, would you rather wear the same outfit every day for a year? Or would you rather never wear matching socks again? That's
interesting. Question about the same outfit. Is it like a Doug Funny situation where it's the same sweater, shorts, and t-shirt? Or how's that? Is it the exact same fit, so like I can't wash it or nothing like that? Or is it like a Doug Funny situation where it's the same fit, but I got like 1,000 of the same fit?
Yeah, no. So it's literally the same outfit. Like, meaning, like, I mean, you obviously could change your drawers, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, other than that,
I'm gonna go mismatch socks then.
Mismatch, yeah. I feel like that's an easy one. That's probably an easy one. Off the top though, because here's the funny thing. I feel like some people, I know some guys who their sock game is like on point. Like they literally will, like, even in the wintertime, y'all know what I'm talking about. They got the guys that are wearing the socks outside of their pants so they can show them off. I'm like, nah, B, that ain't me. Like, I'm not worried about all that. You know what I mean? But some people are like that. And I'm like, look, JusRZD, he might be the type of guy, man. He's super You know what I mean? He's super creative with it. He might be like, hey man, sometimes I need my socks to match. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not. I'm not that. Well, I'm not necessarily that particular when it comes to socks. Because 9 times out of 10, ain't nobody gonna see them anyway. But I will say I do love a good pair of anime socks.
That's fair. I do have a Dragon Ball pair of socks with all the Dragon Balls up and down it.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah. I got that joint as a Christmas
That's
gift.
fire.
I think it was last year. My in-laws got it for me, and I was like, hey, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying?
I'll take it.
I'll take it. Oh man. Nah.
That's dope.
Yeah, bro. All right. So second question, chat. And this is for you, JusRZD, as well, obviously. Would you rather? This is like you, for some of y'all who aren't music heads or never been in this in a situation as a artist. All right, this might not, you might be like, I don't know. But would you rather be stuck in a studio that smells like old pizza? Or would you rather be stuck on a tour bus with no Wi-Fi?
Well, I would do the tour bus with no Wi-Fi just because, depending on where we at, T-Mobile got a lot of service in a lot of places. But
Hey.
to have that consistent smell of old pizza, that's a very distinct smell.
It is.
And to just be locked in trying to create, and you be like, yo, this something ain't right.
Bro, I mean, fair. That's fair. I mean, we do have technology. That's fair. I see him in the chat right now. Like, you said, bro, what? We got technology, hotspot and 5G. That's fair. But when you're traveling, but when you're traveling though, sometimes depending on where you at, service be flat.
That's true.
And so I don't know, the built-in Wi-Fi joints is nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But not that I've ever been on a tour bus with that. But you know, if I had to think about it, I'm like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. But looks like it's 50-50. The chat went 50-50. They've all voted socks last time. They're like, bro, just give me the mixed match socks. I'm cool with that. The chat is split on this one. They split on this one. All right. Would you rather, number 3? Would you rather, this one's gonna be interesting. I mean, it seems, but I feel like Cannon would give us a different answer to this one. Just knowing his personality. All right. Would you rather perform on a floating stage in the middle of a lake, or would you rather perform on the top of a moving train? Now, moving train does not mean speed train. That just means a moving train.
That's true.
Just take that into consideration.
That's true. I think I'm gonna go moving train because I don't know how to swim. So
hey, that's fair.
Of me falling off a train and surviving, and falling off a floating train and surviving is a little bit higher with the train.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I feel like depending on how big the lake is, though, if the lake is really big and I know it's gonna take me forever to swim somewhere, I'm like, nah, bro. Like, give me the train.
Thanks.
Give me the train. But I'm like, if it's a smaller, situation, I'm like, I don't mind swimming. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. But I feel that though. If it was Cannon would have said train because he done rapped on a train. He's done did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So he talked about that last time. He's like, bro, I done rapped on trains. I've rapped with fire in my hands. And I'm like, good Lord. Freaking crazy. All right, last one. This is the last question for the Would You Rather game. The chat voted perform on a floating stage. They'd rather perform on a floating stage. All right.
Y'all got it. Y'all better than me.
Yeah. Last one is, would you rather have your beats made from out of old hymns, like sampling old hymns, or would you rather have beats with random household objects, made out of random household objects? Which would you rather have?
Good question. I would actually be interested in both of those, like just to see
Right.
how it sounds. But I feel like you get more creativity and variety from random household objects than you would hymns. So I'm gonna go random household objects.
Yeah. I'm with that. That's what I would have picked. I would pick that one just because I feel like it also would be so uniquely different, because I feel like people have sampled hymns before. They've sampled,
True.
you know what I mean? Like that's kind of been done. But if like all of my beats have to be made out of hymns, I don't know about that. I can get by.
After a while.
Yeah. You know, I can get by with the spoon and the pans going at it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know about
or a vacuum cleaner or a door shutting or just anything like that would be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where creativity comes in too. It's like we're talking about creative in God mode. Like you want to get extra creative? Here you go. Here's a challenge to the producers out here. Go ahead, take your mic and mic up all your stuff in your kitchen and let's see what you cook up. I want to see somebody do it. I want to see somebody do it. Maybe JusRZD, you be inspired now. Maybe you'll. He's like, nah. Well, I'm saying you might be inspired to get whoever does your production to be like, hey,
okay, got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I need that type of beat. You know what I mean? I need the pan and the silver spoon.
I'm trying to think of the people I work with. I don't know if any of them.
Hey,
maybe one.
You never know. That'd be crazy.
Maybe one.
That would be crazy. Yeah, man. I appreciate you playing that game with us, man. That's just a little fun icebreaker. You know what I'm saying? Just to lighten the mood up and just kind of get us ready for the conversations that we're gonna have as we dive into playing Call of Duty Black Ops together, man. So yeah, bro, that's just a fun way to lighten it up and see kind of what your palate's like. If like are we on the same wavelength on things? You know what I mean? Obviously, we both are creative in our mindset to be like, hey, man, give me the pots and the pans and let's make something happen. You know what I mean? So that's dope. Let me see. What's the we're gonna go ahead and then jump into a couple things, man. First, I know you probably get asked this probably 100 million times, man. And in any interview or just anywhere you go, you probably already know what I'm about to ask you. But the first question for me that a lot of these questions, like the beauty of me being able to do this is I get to ask questions that I want to ask. You know what I mean? As an MC, as a rapper.
You want to do.
Yeah, well, it's like as an MC and as a rapper and as somebody who's a creative, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times people who are interviewing you they're just fans of the music. And like, that's cool, but sometimes it takes one to know one. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes an artist to know an artist. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the cool thing about doing these interviews and doing this particular type of podcast. You know what I mean? So my question is like, what does your name JusRZD actually like mean? Where did it come from? Because I'm gonna get before you answer. Let me just tell you you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. All right, because I don't know. All right. When I see JusRZD, when I saw it for the first time, I'm like, does this brother's name mean like he's just representing like JusRZD, like Jesus just raised from the tomb? Is that it? Or was he just raised from death into life? Was this, you know what I mean? Like, is that it? Or what is the meaning behind your name? You know what I'm saying?
So you close. So it's an abbreviation of what my original rap name was. My original rap name was also a derivative of an old basketball nickname I used to have when I used to hoop.
Oh, okay.
And they used to call me J-Rock.
Oh, okay, got it.
And so at the time it was I spelled it JROC, and it was just raised on Christ. And so the whole thing was just more so a testament of like how I was raised in church, super heavy. But one thing I always say is, now my mom didn't do necessarily everything right, but the one thing she did do was instill in me a true godly example of what it looks like to live out a Christian lifestyle Sunday to Sunday. Not just on Sunday, but on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
every day of the week.
Friday. Exactly. And so when I say just raised on Christ, it's like that's
you were literally just raised.
Example.
Got it.
Like that's how I was brought up. I was in church all the time, of course, with her being involved in different facets of the ministry and stuff like that. But what I saw in home wasn't different than what I saw when she would go to church. It was actually what I saw at home was better than the little bit that people got to see at church. when it came to just living that Christian lifestyle, being committed and submitted to God and different things
Yeah.
like that. So a lot of the toxicity where like some people will be raised in the church and was always in the church, but your
Yeah.
family is acting totally different when y'all leave the church than when y'all actually in front of the church congregation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so for me, that's kind of where it stemmed from. And then shout out to Ruslan.
Okay.
I was in his Patreon. I was in his Patreon when he used to do like the music critiques and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, and we got real cool while I was in the Patreon. I remember chopping it up with him one day and just talking about kind of changing my name and making it more marketable. And through that conversation, kind of settled on Just Raised. But I wanted to
Mm.
spell it different because I was just like, I still feel like that might be a little bit too long. So I was just like, maybe if I do like 6 letters. And I was like JusRSD, and I was like, no, I don't like the way that look.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, well, maybe JusRZD. I don't like the way that look. So it just
Yeah,
stuck.
nice, nice. I like that, bro. I like that. Now that's definitely not what I thought it meant. I'm like, well, it's like I didn't know. I was thinking like, typical like Christian rappers type stuff in my mind is like, most people are taking like a Bible verse and doing something with it, or
Right.
you know what I mean. And so I was like, is Just Raised like him trying to say like the metaphor about Jesus, or okay, that's cool. It's more about your story. You were just raised in the church. It's just how you were
Right.
raised. This is what you knew. And yeah, I think that's cool, man. I like that, and I do like the the name flip of spelling, how you spelled it. I think that is very
Hmm.
catchy. You know what I mean? Like short, but the Z with a D is spelled like you're leaving things out to kind of play with the I a little bit. So
Fun fact about it, I got two fun facts. So first fun fact about the spelling, and the reason why I wanted to keep it like short and concise. We were perform. I was in a rap group that was kind of big around the 757. At the
yeah,
time, it was Swerve Music Group, and we were performing at ODU for like this high school football classic thing that they do at ODU. And I remember we performed, we got off stage. One of the what one of the little kids came up to me. He was like, "Yo, that's dope. Do you have like your stuff out on like SoundCloud or something?" And I was like, "Yeah, let me write down the information and write down my name on it." And he was just like, he looked at it, he was like, "It's kind of complicated." Like I was just like, "Dang."
dang,
And he
hey,
just like straight eye contact, like this is kind of complicated. I was just like, well, you know what?
hey,
I might need to change my name to something more short, concise that I can just give you 6 letters. It ain't hard, it ain't difficult.
right.
That's all you gotta type
That's
in.
that's a lesson
And
for all y'all artists out there, man. Make sure your stuff is just easy to remember, and it's
facts,
so you want it faster to better, bro. Like you know what I mean.
facts.
Like if it's something that's like your artist name on the thing is like Jeremiah the Prophet 616, it's like, bro, wait, like it's too much going
That's a
on,
lot.
bro. There's a lot.
Right.
Like but crazy enough, man. There's a lot of these rappers out here I've seen, man. Like, I mean, there's some of these guys' names they look like gamer tags, bro. I'm like,
Facts, bro.
I think you just, I think they like grew up playing video games and they added a gamer tag that they made and they just ran with it and they're like, I don't know what my rap name should be. Well, all my friends call me this online, so I'm I'm Ice Boy 313 with a 30Z with a wait, what? Like, God, X5
Like, bro, what does that
3000.
even mean?
X5 3000. Like, what's going on?
Facts.
But
Facts.
yeah,
The other
man.
fun fact to touch on what you were saying as far as like the whole is he talking about the resurrection of Jesus? I actually did something like that
Mm,
back on MySpace days. Like when I first like recommitted my life to God and started taking it seriously. This like I said, this back on MySpace days, so I'm telling
yeah.
my age. This is towards the end of MySpace, but I was just like, I changed my profile to the death of my real name, and then the second end of that, once you clicked on the profile, was and the birth of something new. So it was just playing on just rededicating
Yeah.
your life to Christ and being resurrected in His newness. And bro, it was so funny because I got so many messages. People thought I died.
Oh,
Like people that I went to school with, they was like,
Oh
"Yo, say it
no.
ain't so." I was like, "Nah, I'm alive."
No, that's my rap name died. Not really me.
No, this was before I was rapping. This was before I was rapping.
Oh, okay, okay. It was the death to your page.
Right. It was just it needs to be super deep.
Right. That's crazy, bro. That's freaking hilarious. Because I mean, it's funny because when my I used to go by the name Premises. So Premises used to be,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like my stage name, my alias was before I just went by my government name. So everybody knows my government name, which is fine. But I was just like, yo, how do I I let people know that this chapter is done, and I wanted to like move on from that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I ended up deleted. I think I took my whole page, deleted all the posts, and it made like a 3 stack of like pictures or whatever to make a picture on my page that had like a tomb on it, and it had like that's legit what it was. Like this is like 7 years ago, bro. 8 years ago, I made this like Premises RIP like coming out. It was like legit. And I think there was somebody that messaged me similar to that. I mean, it was like 1 or 2 people that was like, "Yo, did something happen?" And I'm like, no, I'm not rapping under Premises anymore. Like, I'm done.
It'd be funny, man, when you think you're doing something, trying to be poetic, you're trying to be creative, and it's just like people take it to heart and people take it serious. It's like
Yeah.
I didn't even know y'all was paying attention to me like that. I was just
I mean,
doing-
like, it's funny because, I mean, and in that season, I mean, I knew people were paying attention to what I was doing at that time, but I also was like,
right,
I thought people would get the hint because of my
right.
my caption. My caption on it wasn't
Oh,
anything
they
like
don't read. It's the internet. They don't read.
facts. Fair point. Fair point. That's true. Cats don't be reading; they just be looking at pictures, man. Like my 4-year-old. That's what
Thanks.
happens. Oh, that's
Hey,
so
you'll
funny.
have all the information in a picture. It'll still be somebody that comment below. Be like, "Hey, so when's this, that, and the third?" It's like, bro, it say it right on the
Right
picture. It
on it.
said.
Hilarious, dog. That's true, man. But yeah, man. So real quick before we're about to jump into some games. This is a question I want to ask you before we jump into some games. But like, I know that apparently we had crossed paths years ago somehow. I think in some places because I know some of my guys, man, that that we're like kind of mutual friends with. They're actually in the chat right now. I see them, man. Workflow and Love Driven War, who's in the chat. So shout out to Charles
Thank
and
you, CJ.
yeah, CJ and my boy Spence, D Faith up in
Yes,
here.
sir.
Some other VA representatives out here, some other lyricists, super dope MCs as well. But yo, I know that I apparently because I think we were talking behind the scenes months ago, and you're like, yeah, bro, or like it was somewhere, and you were like, yeah, I remember who you are, like whatever. I was like, oh, I was like, I didn't
Yeah,
know.
so we've never actually met. So I don't
Oh,
think
I
we've
thought we
crossed
did.
paths.
Okay, okay, okay.
Nah. We've never actually met. I just remember seeing your stuff as Premises. And I remember seeing when you switched to just using your stage name, not your stage name, but your real name. And I remember you and TJ Pompeo
Oh
uh
yeah,
was yeah, like y'all kind of popped up on my radar around the same time.
got
So
it.
I was just like just kind of tapping into like different Christian artists and stuff like that. Like not just I was kind
He's
of
like who?
dabbling
He's
into
like
like
who are these two
the
white guys
independent.
that have a little bit?
Not even not even the white dudes, but just like the less like well known. 'Cause,
Yeah,
at the time it was just like if you wasn't Reach, most people wasn't tapping in beyond Reach
yeah,
as far as or RMG as far as like
yep.
tapping in with CHH. So it's just like I wanted to see who else was out there. So I got into like the God Over Money catalog, the We Live as Kings catalog, the just the different sects, and started seeing different people that I wasn't familiar with pop up, like the B Coops or the
Oh yeah,
like I
yeah,
said,
yeah.
you, TJ,
There was
and
I
when
know
we was
yeah, there was a lot of like underground or like bubbling up like cuz there was a lot of
hmm
kind of that group of people cuz I started being around some of those guys and like I was at like South by Southwest with some of those dudes
hmm
and doing a lot of like little things that was starting to be on the come up where I felt like, man, I'm hitting these festivals, I was doing things. So yeah, and a lot of those guys I would tend to see here and there. So but yeah, I mean, I feel like yeah, like that was the era that yeah, 100%. If you weren't on Reach or RMG at the time, it wasn't really like nobody really knew.
You wasn't really getting,
Nah.
yeah, nobody really knew who you were.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, me personally, because like I said, because I like to tap into different aspects of creativity and stuff like that. I was always looking for different artists. Like if I heard somebody on a feature, I'd be like, all right, well, do he have a project out, or does she have a project out, or does she have like an EP or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that? Just to tap in and see what variety of creativity different people, different artists have tapped into. And as far as like CJ and Spence, I just ended up beating them through the group I was in. Just the different performances we would do around the 757. We ended up performing at a church where CJ and Spence was performing at, and we just
Yeah, CJ and
kicked it off
Spence,
from there.
those are my dogs, man. Those are my guys. I love those dudes. You know what I'm saying? We're like
Hmm.
this, man. We have that type of brotherhood. That's like we've been close for a long time. We've done some music together in the past. We've done stuff even recent. We got some stuff that's like not even out yet. That's kind of been sitting. But like yeah, bro. Like these brothers have been super close to me, and the type of friendship and bond that we have is like we can butt heads and we can chop it up and we're good. You know what I mean? And like we can continue to try to call the best out of each other, man, which is really dope. So
Right.
yeah, man, shout out to my guys in here, man. Absolutely good to see y'all
Hmm.
in the chat. And it's good because they know
Yes,
you.
sir.
You know what I'm saying? And like
Yeah.
757
They some good brothers,
representatives,
man.
man.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, they were talking really highly about you, man. So I'm excited
I
to
appreciate
have
that.
you on this podcast with us, man, for the second episode. So recently, man, this is one of the things. I think when I first got really hip to you, I got hip to you recently this year, because of your placement of getting on Rapzilla's freshman list, bro. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations. Give me some hype in the chat for this brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Hitting the freshman
Bro,
2024. That's a
that
huge
was
deal, bro.
that
That's
was
that's
crazy. Like
huge.
I didn't even I didn't see that kind of. I thought I had aged out the joint. Like I thought, because they had specific like rules. Like if you had a certain amount of projects out, or you had like more than one album out, or something like that,
Yeah.
in years prior, they wouldn't you wouldn't be eligible because they wanted like up and coming type of people. And so it was interesting. They just threw out that whole criteria that they used to go on in years past and just selected people that they thought
Which is
were
dope.
fit to be freshmen. And they got me and a couple of my homies up there, and just a group of artists that they selected this year, super creative.
Mm.
And it was dope being able to work with them, and just being fans of the artists that they selected in and of itself was just dope to see them also be a part of the group. And I believe uh the final single for the actual Rapzilla Freshman project dropped today.
Oh,
It's
nice.
called What You
Bet.
Gonna Do. Yes, sir.
Bet.
It's called What You Gonna Do. So it's WYGD. And it's a single with it was produced by Opto and Cyrus, Opto Music and Cyrus Sonata, and it
Okay.
features myself, PD Case, and Too Cool Tiff.
Man, that's fire, bro. That's huge. Man, congratulations again, man. Just like I think that's a huge testament to, just God's faithfulness, but really, man, just you being faithful to your craft and doing what you do, man, and trying to stick it out. And I know, especially, I talk to CJ and I talk to Spence often. It's like I know the VA hip hop scene, Christian hip hop scene is a little wonky. You know what I mean? And I
Hmm.
know at one point it was vibrant, and there was at least some
Yeah.
there was some bubbling up. There was a lot of presence starting to be
Hmm.
around. I know I performed out there many times. I've been out, to the current FM radio station, did a lot of interviews. My man DJ Noble was out there. A
Hmm.
lot of other churches that were very supportive of bringing in artists, doing events all the time. So like,
Hmm.
yeah, I know how that has to feel for you to be able to get to feel seen and to feel like, yo, like,
Yeah.
man, like people see and hear me, like, cool, and like,
Right.
to have that Rapzilla placement like that is huge, man. It's not an easy feat. So, man, congratulations again, man. That's huge.
I appreciate it. Like I said, it completely caught me off guard. I thought. I thought it was curtains for your kid. Like I didn't think I was even on the red. Like I've talked to Chad and I've talked to Justin and
Yeah,
OB and all them and great guys.
sure.
But I wasn't thinking about being a freshman or nothing like that anymore. So it was just like when they said it and I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, hey,
Yeah.
I appreciate
Charles just commented in the chat and said it's tumbleweeds out here now, bro.
it. Man, listen, it is quiet in these streets, especially like since the pandemic. It's just like don't nobody really do shows like that. Like it's still talent in VA. VA is always gonna have talented artists and talented people,
Sure,
but it's
sure.
just like, bruh, it was always a hint of like, yo, you gotta leave VA to like really show off that talent. But now it's just like it's quiet. It's quiet. It is quiet in the VA
Yeah,
streets.
yeah,
Like don't nobody really come here for real like that anymore for like shows or nothing like that. Like if they
yeah.
do, it's like dang near DC. Like
Wow,
they go
wow,
into like super Northern Virginia. But don't nobody really stop through the 757 anymore,
wow.
which is
Dang.
it's sad, but
Yeah.
it's the way things have developed.
So is you hit the Rapzilla freshman list before your project with the most recent project that you put out, right? Was that before?
Yeah, so this year, man, this year has been so like all over the place for me. Like the selection when they announced the selection, I want to say it was in like February, either late January or early February when they announced the Rabs of the freshman selection, and I was already trying to work on finishing two projects on top of that, and then of course when that came, they wanted to do a Rapzilla freshman project, which should be dropping within the next couple of weeks.
Nice.
And because they're trying to get it out before the year ends. But so it was just like now I got another project on top of the two I'm trying to finish. So it was like trying to do all that. Then I started on YouTube in February and was trying to learn YouTube and learn the algorithm, learn how to attack that and be a good steward in that area of space.
Hmm.
And it was just like, bro, this it's a lot. So like
Yeah.
when it came to like music promo for me this year, I was
And you
just
got
like, something got to give.
and you got a family at home too, right? Like you got
Yes,
family, you know what I'm
yes.
saying?
Got a wife, got three kids. So it's just like,
Oh,
dang,
you
I
got
can't just
three?
give all my yes, sir.
Oh, I thought you only had
I
like
got
one
three
or
of them things.
two.
Nah, I got three of them things.
Hey, what you got? Boy, girl. What?
All
Like
boys,
all
all boys.
boys?
Yeah.
I got
Now the good
all.
thing about my kids is they're a little bit older. So
Oh,
like the
okay.
oldest is technically my stepson, but I don't really do the step thing, so I just call him my son. But he's
Yeah.
19. He just turned 19. It's his last year in high school. So he's focusing on trying to get into college and get scholarships and stuff like that. And then my two youngest are 11 and 12. So
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah,
they're not
you
like
got
super
older
baby
ones.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I got all girls, and it's all girls
Oh.
over here, bro. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, yeah. And my oldest is 12, almost to be 13 in
Mhm.
March. And my middle
Oh.
one is 9, and then I have my youngest is a COVID baby. She was born in 2020. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, she's
you know
4.
what happens when you get stuck in the house.
Dog,
When
when I
those
said
shut down, everybody got stuck in the house. It was just like, well,
but it's funny. I mean, if you do the math, she was born in September, so technically she was conceived before COVID happened.
well, touche,
So yeah,
touche.
so then it was like, well, here we go. Like we about to have a baby that can't go nowhere. Like we just gonna be stuck.
Facts.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Yeah,
facts.
it is a whole different life. Facts, facts,
Hmm.
facts, bro. It's a different type of life, bro. Some days I'll be sitting over here. I'm like, there's too much estrogen in this house, bro. It's too much. I'm like,
Man, it's funny because I always wanted a girl. Like I always said, the the innocence of a child or like a kid growing up, you thinking, not realizing what it takes to raise a family or be a father or be a husband. You like, you know what? I want like 5 kids. Then you get to three, and it's just like, you know what? I'm good.
nah, bro. I mean, real talk, real talk. Me and wifey were like, when we got married, we were like, well, we're doing two kids, we done. And
Facts.
two happened, and then we had 2 girls. We're like, we want to try for the boy. We want to try for the boy. And God's
Right.
like, no. You know what I'm saying?
You gonna take these girls?
Yeah, nah, well, it's funny because I often say that the Lord has a crazy sense of humor because when I was before I got saved, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I just want to be surrounded by beautiful girls my whole life, bro. Like I want to be surrounded by ladies, bro. Like I want to be surrounded by the ladies. And God redeemed that and said, you know what? All things can be worked out for the good of my
Facts.
glory. So here we go.
Facts.
I'm gonna give you all girls, but not in the way you anticipated. Here you go. And I'm like, touche, Lord, touche.
Like this ain't really how I wanted that prayer answered, but I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
facts. Facts,
No, I
man.
feel it. I
Um,
feel it.
yeah, OB, I can see you, bro. I can see you. We focused in, we locked in on the convo, man. So I'm like tuned in, but I'm also like trying to make sure that I'm tuned in to the pod, man. We locked in. Me and Just Raised got this thing popping, man. You know what I'm saying? On Beat, we're gonna have to get you on here one night, man. We got to get for those of
Big
y'all who
facts.
don't know who On Beat is he's a producer that I've known before he was on beat to a lot of y'all in Rapzilla's subspace. You know what I'm saying? Like I've known OB for a long time, man. We go way back, like LeBron's hairline out here. You know what I'm saying? And like, listen, this dude is one of the best producers. He's one of my best friends. And he produced the last couple singles that I just put out over the summer. And I know he does a lot of critique Fridays on the Rapzilla website, on their Instagram and whatnot every Friday. So y'all check him out if you're an artist and you want him to do a live review. Y'all go check him out and support over there, man. They're doing a beautiful thing over there. So little plug for OB.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So right, this will probably be. We can go ahead and get ready to hop into the games, bro. Let's go ahead and squad up. Let me try to find you on here. You know what I mean? Let me see.
I
Let
got
me
you.
see. Oh, you already in bed.
I'm already in there with you.
There we go. There
Yes,
we
sir.
go. Let's get it. All right. So I've got it set for just domination and hardpoint and then Nuketown 24/7. We're gonna play a little bit of core, which is not the
That's
hardcore
fine.
mode. So we're gonna run just the regular, so that way I don't get shot in the pinky toe by 2 bullets of a pistol and I die. You know what I mean? I'd rather somebody have a little more skill and shoot me where it actually can hurt. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do in this next segment here. We're gonna do this while we're doing that. I'm gonna ask some questions, man, and get you to continue to chop it up and share more with us, bro, about just your journey, more of your music, and different things like that, man. That's what we're gonna dive into. So while this game is loading up, I know that you have a new project out. It's the project that for me, I actually did a review over on my YouTube channel. If y'all want to go check that out, put exclamation YouTube in the chat. That'll get you a link to the actual YouTube channel if you're on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, then you already follow the channel, so it doesn't really need to tell you that. But go over to the YouTube channel and check this out. I did a review over his last project. You guys can go check that out. And that's with a guy that I first time ever hearing him, Weez the Satellite Kid. By the way, Weez, if you watch this, I do know now that it is 2 eyes and not just one for your name. So my apologies. I know what it's like, brother. Like my name was Premises and it was spelled with all eyes and people would call me Primus. People would call me Primus. People would call me Grimace. There's just crazy names, bro. And I'm like, listen, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, get my name
that's
right,
funny.
fool. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's funny.
so
That's funny.
I did not intentionally miss the I, man. So I apologize. But yeah, man, tell us a little bit about you and Weez. How'd y'all connect? And like, how did this whole project kind of come about? You know what I'm saying?
Man, this project was a task to get done. Just because both of us are husbands, fathers of multiple children. Like it was difficult trying to make sure we got everything together to just complete it, just having the time, getting the records, getting the production and all that. It took a lot. It took a couple years to just finalize everything. But I got hip to Weeze through a homie that was doing engineering for me. His name is Conscience at the time. I
Okay.
had just Conscience, I believe, is based out of Arizona, and Weeze is in Arizona currently. I
Oh,
know
so that
he's
was just an
talking
easy
about
connect.
moving soon. Yeah, it was an easy connect, but he had did a record with Weeze because, of course, they're cool, and I want to say it was called Fellowship, and I heard him on the record. I was like, yo, this dude kind of sound like Foggy a little bit. Oh man, it kicked me up. I was like, this dude kind of sound like Foggy a little bit on
Oh
the
yeah,
record,
yeah.
and I was like, yo, I kind of like his
It's about
style,
Foggy
I kinda like
Raw.
his swag. Yeah, I kind of,
Yeah.
and it was just that particular song that he sounded like Foggy to me. And then I started tapping in with some of his music. I was like, yo, his flow is real kind of staccato-ish, like it's creative. Like
Yeah, he
he's
has
attacking
definitely a unique flow for
different,
sure.
yeah, he's attacking different cadences and sounds in the production that I wasn't expecting for him to do. And I was just like, yo, I feel like we would kill a record together. And then so I ended up kind of hitting him up about it, and through the process of us just linking, we ended up both being in PLS, which is the listening session, which was started by Q Flow and Mr. Rail.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's just pretty much a group. It started as a group chat for artists, like up and coming indie artists, to just get insight and helpful hints to like different things they could do, like critiquing mixes and different things.
Oh, that's dope.
As far as
That's
like
sick.
learning and understanding like the game, as far as like putting your music out and just
Yeah, just kind of helping each other build.
yeah, just pretty much just kind of helping each other build. And through that process, we both ended up in there. And so me and Weeze just started chopping it up. And the first record we ever did together was actually Butterfly, which is actually on the project.
Okay.
And it was just a song. It was just a song about love and just being fearful of finding like a second chance at love, and just
Okay.
being fearful of being scarred by love again, and wanting love at
So
the
like
same time.
relationship music.
Like relationship music, and just kind of just attacking that particular thought process of just like wanting love, but also being afraid of being hurt again, and just that dynamic and that pull and push of those two contrasting ideals.
Yo, I just got
And so,
sniped jumping off of this thing, bro. Oh, that was terrible. Oh, my bad. Continue.
but nah, it was it was just that was that particular record, and we just, after we put that particular record out, it was just like, yo, we both rock with like soulful type of stylings and
Yeah.
soulful type of records and stuff like that. So it's just like we kind of just started vibing with each other as far as like a brotherhood and just creativity and stuff like that. I'd help him with records, he would help me with records. If I had a record with an open verse, I'd throw it to him. If he had something he needed a hook or an open verse for, he'd throw it to me. If he needed some background vocals or whatever, or just trying to flesh out some ideas. So we just started building like that, and then it just kind of, I was like, yo, we might as well just do it. We got like 2 or 3 singles in the tuck with both of us up here. So it was like, we might as well do like a little project or whatever. So we just started working on it.
You guys both have a pretty solid like complementary sound to each other. I feel like you guys both have pretty solid chemistry on that record. Like it's one of my personal favorites, man, of the year, man. For me personally, I enjoyed it, man, a lot. So just because it was uniquely different, the sounds were, it was just it was way chill. And I think I said this in my review, was like, bro, like, have you guys ever thought about like doing some kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't know if this is even a thing. Like, I know my boy, have you ever heard of Chris? You know Chris Noel?
Yes, I've heard of him, but I don't know him personally.
Okay. He's out here in Carolina, man. He's one of my homies, man. He's one of my good guys, good friends out here.
I did not know he was from Carolina.
Yeah, well, he's technically from Texas.
Okay.
But oh god, I'm so dead. Yeah, bro, it's hard to sit here and concentrate sometimes, bro. You're out here trying to. But yeah, so he does a lot of like acoustic style, like hip hop and stuff too, man. He does a whole set with like an acoustic guitar and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
Yeah, like he'll rap, sing, play the keyboard, run the keys. Shout out to my guy Chris, man. He's super talented, man. But he like has done like coffee shops here and there. I've seen him do little pop-up like things like that. And so when I heard your joint, I was like, bro, like I wonder if him and Rays have ever thought about, you know what I'm saying, like doing something similar with that sound that y'all got. I feel like y'all can find yourselves in like some really cool, like, you know, airports or something, bro. Like playing where you can make a vibe like for the place that you're in, you know what I mean? Setting the atmosphere. Because that's what it felt like the record sounded like to me, you know what I mean?
Nah, I feel you 1,000%. The only issue with that is he's in Arizona and I'm in Virginia.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm saying like, I mean, that's fair, but I'm saying like even if you didn't like get booked locally, I mean, like you could, I don't know if there's ways that y'all could like, you could create a tour out of something that's like uniquely separate to, yo, we're showing up all around the country at all these different like pop-up shops and setting a tone for,
Nah, for sure.
you know.
For sure. It's definitely something to think about and try to figure out the cost benefit of the situation as far as like how we would do it, what would be the cost, not necessarily the dollar amount cost, but just like the cost in general of like time, how much time we would need from like the family or from the job to make sure that we get that all situated, what resources we would need. So yeah, it'd definitely be something to chop it up about.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just think you guys have a unique space in that because of that. I mean, and someone like myself, man, I love like the gritty, lyrical like stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? But like, which there was a couple records like I'm gonna play my favorite record here in a minute after this match. We're gonna get to it. I really wanna let the chat hear it. And then we're gonna talk about my favorite personal record on the album. So, but that record, even though it's not like hood gritty or anything, but it's got a vibe to it. It's like it's definitely not like that, but it definitely is like like the feel of it just still had this like smooth. It was smooth enough that it still makes you scrunch up your face a little bit. You know what I mean?
Nah, for sure. It's funny. If that's more so your speed, as far as that, you'd probably definitely like the first project I dropped this year, which is the Hustle and Soul tape.
Okay, yeah, you have to send me some of the records that I wasn't hip to at before any of that stuff, man. And I need to check the new one out too. Maybe we'll before you get off stream, maybe we'll pull that up for everybody to vibe to. We'll check out the brand new joint there.
That one's different. It's different. It's definitely different.
Like, what do you mean? Like, is it more different than what you and Weez did?
Yeah, it's all I can say is it's different. You gotta experience it to understand what I'm saying. It's different. It's not your typical song structure. It's not your typical song styling, but it's a dope experience though.
Okay. Might have to check that out then, bro. You got me interested.
Yes,
All right, we gotta figure out where we're gonna try to finish this game out real quick. We're losing right now. I don't know if we're gonna win this. It's looking pretty tough. They only need like 5 more seconds.
So I'm sitting in the lobby.
Wait, what? You didn't even tell me. Oh no, my man got kicked out of the lobby. Hey.
No, I'm sitting in the lobby just waiting for the rotation to come back in.
Oh, it's all good. We're toast. They done beat us. Yeah, we took the L. We took the L.
I was playing with some other people not too long ago, and I was just like, I didn't realize so many people enjoy playing Hardpoint like that.
Bro, the only reason why Hardpoint is fun is just because you don't have to like hide, or excuse me, you don't have everybody camping all the time because they have to go to that spot. So you know, like when it's the opposite team's color, then you know, like if it's the enemy team color, then you know, like, oh, everybody's there, so I can get a bunch of kills.
Got you. Okay.
So that's why people like it.
That makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Because people are just trying to level up their guns and get all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
That's really it. Yeah. So before we get into this next one, since even though you didn't really even get to play that one, I had no idea. I was wondering how you were talking so well. I was like, dang man, he's doing really good talking right now.
Yeah, I was just like, well, I'm just sit in the lobby till the rotation come back around.
That's
But
hilarious.
yeah, I don't know what happened. Uh,
Well, we're gonna what I want to do right now is I'm gonna end up turning on my favorite record off of the project. This is called Super Duper. Shout out to Missy Elliott.
yes, sir.
Yeah, literally we talked about this before the stream, and it was funny because I'm like, yo, y'all should have sampled this. If there was ever a chance that y'all could have sampled a Missy Elliott song, this would have been the one. Like maybe there's a remix down the line where y'all sample Super Duper and flip it. Like,
It's funny. Shout out to shout out to Weez for changing the name of the song because it was originally called Interstellar, and then
ah,
when he sent his verse back, he put Super Duper as the title, and I was just like,
you know what? I like that.
I like it. I'm gonna keep
That's hilarious.
it.
That's hilarious. I love that. I love that. All right, so here's my favorite record. This is off the new project from Weez the Satellite Kid and JusRZD. It's called For the Free. Y'all can go check it out. It's streaming on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere and everywhere you can go find streaming music, right? It's up there. So y'all make sure y'all go check it out. Go support JusRZD and Weez the Satellite Kid, man. Y'all go check them out. This project is real smooth vibes, man, but with a hip hop soul to it, man. So we're gonna play this record right here. It's my favorite record, man. So let's jump into it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Me, I'm super fly, feeling super high with my super duper tribe, oh yeah. Woo! Got me feeling so right, in the stellar with the vibe, with super duper fly.
Yeah.
Me, I'm super fly, feeling super high with my super duper tribe, oh yeah.
Put the vibes in the chat. YouTube, Twitch. Let us know how y'all feeling about it.
The way I spit
Let's
is so
go.
ridiculous. Got these religious hypocrites feeling sick. Yeah, they need a doctor. No, I'm always gon' kick it off proper. This that heavenly flow. Flipping interstellar vibes keeps the melody froze. See, I get better with foes. Been ultra instinct ever since Yeshua.
That's my
rose.
favorite bar.
Never finna take flight on another plane. Call it astral. If you try to ride this wave, hold up, we gon' need that gas though. Me, I'm super fly, feeling super high with my super duper tribe. Oh,
Yeah.
got me feeling so right in the stellar with the vibe, with super duper fly. Oh yeah. Me, I'm super fly, feeling super
Yeah.
high with my super duper tribe.
That vibe is so clean,
Got
bro.
me feeling so right in the stellar with the vibe, with super duper fly.
My confidence, a compliment, aided by the ominous, monstrous with metaphors. This metaphor got condiments. The stairway made the way I stare at them in dominance. The default before we had that depart from the knowledge of good and evil. Mount the wings of eagles, dog. I'm too fly, super duper fly. Dog,
Yo,
I'm
Weez
too
is
high.
going in,
Got
bro.
along with angles, but be feeling like the new
He
guy.
do his
Can't
thing
help
on
but
that
think
joint.
if only niggas knew God. Weez.
Me, I'm super fly, feeling super high with my super duper tribe. Oh yeah. Got me feeling so right in the stellar with the vibe, with super duper fly.
Yeah, so I hear now the Interstellar. I hear it.
Super fly, feeling super high with my super duper tribe, oh yeah. Got me feeling so right in the stellar with the vibe, with super duper fly.
Yeah. That record's crazy. That record's crazy. Yeah. That is Super Duper by Wiz, the Satellite Kid, and JusRZD. Y'all killed that record, bro. Y'all absolutely killed that joint, bro. Yes, sir. So here's what I want to ask you though. Like one of my favorite parts about this record, make sure I'm asking it right? One of my favorite parts about this record is the Goku reference. Please elaborate, because I don't know if you know this or not, but look, you know what I'm saying? Look on your boy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We tatted on right here, bro. Ultra Instinct on the arm, bro. I'm working on a whole Goku sleeve. You know what I'm saying? So, like when I heard the Goku reference, I was like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So talk to us about, I mean, for me, like as an MC, I put stuff like that in my lyrics from time to time. Like you don't oversaturate it where it's like, you know what I mean? But you just dash it in, dash it out, you know what I mean? And just kind of let people know like, oh, I'm aware of these things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like for you, like what was the point of that? Because you said I go Ultra Instinct when Yeshua. What'd you say when Yeshua raised?
Yeah, I said I've been Ultra Instinct ever since Yeshua rose.
Since Yeshua rose. That's it. Ever since Yeshua rose. Like that junk is crazy dope to me. And so yeah, like just elaborate on just the whole concept of that record, and then just obviously that bar that I like. I'm like, bro, like talk to the people where that kind of came from.
So the whole record, like it was called Super Duper in general. Was just like when I heard it, I was just like, yo, this beat is crazy. Shout out to Still a Kid. He produced that joint for me. And
Mm.
I was just like, yo, this joint is dumb. This joint is stupid. And the hook kind of came to me as I was just playing around with it. And yeah, I kind of like that. You know,
Yeah,
it
it's
was just more
clean.
so just like just just like understanding who you are in God, understanding how He elevates us as He sanctifies us, and just understanding like we have that authority and we can stand 10 toes in it, and we shouldn't be ashamed of that godly confidence. Like a lot of
Yeah.
times people can confuse confidence with cockiness, and it's just like it's not
Uh-huh.
really a cockiness or a boastfulness in our efforts or in ourselves. It's more so a boastfulness in God and what He did for us. And so even down to the line uh, of being Ultra Instinct ever since Yeshua rose, like it's only because He rose that I'm able to do the things that I'm able to do creatively, and it's only because He rose that I'm able to be as skilled as I am at what I'm doing,
Yeah.
and just allowing His power to flow through me and flow through us in that creative way, and just be able to express it in that creative way. So it was just more so just coming from that aspect, and Weez killed it, and it just all came together super well, and I was just like, yeah, we got to throw this on the project.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nah.
we got to throw this on
I'm
the
glad
project.
y'all did, man, because that was my favorite record on there. I was saying um in my review, bro, it's like, bro, I don't know if you saw or heard what I said during that. I was like, Ray, if y'all ever
No, I
do
thought.
if y'all ever do a remix to that mug, man,
For
I
sure.
just need a 16. I need a 12. You know what I mean? I'll settle with a 12, bro.
Yeah,
I'll
I was
s-
about to say it's 2024, man. We doing 12s now.
yeah. Everybody get a
Everything's
12.
shorter.
Yep. People's attention spans, bro.
Facts.
So yeah, man, as we load into this to this next map, man, and hopefully you don't get kicked. What man,
Right.
share kind of your story, man. Like, I mean, how did you come to faith and trust in Jesus, man? Like, how did that happen for you? I know you said, you grew up in church, you know what I mean? You were just raised in the church, you know what I mean?
Facts.
But that doesn't mean just because you're raised in the church doesn't always mean you stay in the church. And it doesn't always mean that you stay, you know what I'm saying, like on the path maybe of understanding who God is. And some people go to church their whole life and still don't know who Jesus is. So
Nah, that's a fact.
I yeah, man, just would love to hear more of your story of how that happened, man. Being raised in church, how did that work for you coming to faith? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for me, like I said, just being raised by my mom in church. You would ask a deep question as soon as we start in this section. But
Yeah. Indeed.
but, but just being raised by my mother and seeing her example that she put forth of what a Christian should look like and how they should go about living their daily life and stuff like that. Like that was a big thing for me. I wish uh, certain things were a little bit different as far as like how she went about. She did the best she could. She did the best she could with what she knew. She wasn't really big as far as like having. She came from a kid should be seen, not heard type of upbringing. So it's just like it wasn't too many like deep
Ah,
conversations
yeah,
about
yeah.
emotions and stuff like that
Yeah.
that we really were able to get into, and and so it was a lot of stuff that I do differently now with my kids.
Sure,
Just
sure.
because of the different things, yeah, that I would have liked to experience growing up in the house I did. Because I'm the baby of 8 kids, so it's like,
Wait, excuse me,
uh,
what? How many?
I'm I'm the baby of 8 kids. So my
Hey,
grandmother, my mom's mom had 8 kids. She's the baby, and I'm her baby. She had me at like 37.
God
So
dang.
like all my first cousins are like in their 50s and 60s. So they're like 20 and 30 years older than
Man,
me. So it's like when I grew up, it was just pretty much me and my sister and
that boy
my
said
cousin.
family. He said he's the baby of 8. Sheesh.
No. It's just me. It's just me and my sister. My mom is the baby of 8.
Oh, oh,
So
oh, 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 you're the
I'm the
baby.
baby of 8 kids.
God, oh, I was about to say, I was like, God,
Nah. It won't 8 of us in the house. That's my
man.
mama testimony. That ain't mine.
Nah, bro, that ain't me. That ain't me.
Nah, not at all.
Oh, they up in the
Not at
tower, bro.
all.
They up in the tower. They up in the
Yeah,
tower.
I see. I almost got taken out. Where you at?
He's up here, and up. Got this guy.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so you mean you grew up, your mom, you know what I'm saying? Like, was Pops around, or was it just, you know what I'm saying?
So, so I knew who my father was. Like I still know who my dad is, but they were not together by the time I was born. They were married with my sister, but they ended up splitting and getting a divorce before I was born.
Ah, okay.
And then I was the try to make it work, baby. Like my mom's dad had passed away, and my dad was in the military.
Okay.
So he came home, of course, in support of her because they were married at the time, even though they were going through a lot of different stressful situations, and kind of leading to divorce.
Got you.
But it was he came up here for the funeral. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Feelings rekindled. You know what I mean? Not much later, I was born.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it didn't work out.
Man.
Them because of to be honest, for me,
It probably worked out.
Their story, it just more so seemed like miscommunication on both of their part, and just not having that proper communication. It could have been other reasons as well, but like I said, just hearing the little bit of the stories that I know from both of them, it just felt like miscommunication from their part and just not understanding how to talk about their feelings and how
Right,
they
but you said that even happened with you as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like that was
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because my dad is a super chill dude like me, but he also don't really talk about his feelings like that either.
Yeah.
So it's like, both of y'all suck at talking about your feelings.
Bro,
how y'all feel.
yeah, and that's tough. That makes it real tough.
Yeah, that's fact. It makes it super tough, especially if you're trying to have like a solidified relationship.
Yeah, if you're trying to really have a relationship
so,
that's gonna be progressing. Yeah, it's tough.
Facts. And it's just like, man, to going through that as a child, like I didn't know that they weren't together. I just thought, knowing that he was in the military, I just thought he had got stationed in a different state. So I thought he was at work. You know what I mean? As a kid, I just thought, oh, my dad in the Navy, he's stationed in Illinois, not thinking, oh, no, mom and dad not together. And they didn't end up telling me until I was like 8, and we had went to Chicago to visit. She took us to visit so we could visit our dad's side of the family and our dad. And she went for like a conference. And so she was at her conference and we was chilling with our dad. But like the second day we was there, the first day we was there, I got to meet my grandparents and a couple of my aunts. And then the second day we was there, my mom kind of pulled me to the side and just kind of let me know that they weren't together anymore. They had split, and that my dad was actually married to somebody else at this particular point in time. And that just kind of broke me just as a child because I really looked up to my dad.
Oh, man.
And to not have that, to not have that conversation from him and not have that validation from him, and then just kind of dealing with that situation as a child, not knowing all the ins and outs of everything,
Right.
and not even really being able to understand the ins and outs of everything. And the way I was told was really kind of trash. Like, even my sister was upset the fact that, because she knew before I knew, but I don't remember how my sister knew. But because my sister's like 8 years older.
She
than
found
me.
out before you did.
Yeah, my sister knew before I did, but I found out that day, and my sister was mad because I found
The way you found out.
Right, and I was mad, but more so hurt, and just didn't understand what was being told. Like, I'm 8. I don't
Right.
Like, I hear what you're saying, but I don't understand what you're saying. And it left me in a place where it was just like, man, I don't like.
Yeah.
It left me in a place just feeling like kind of lost, and like it dealing with validation issues and just always seeking.
Because you were how old when you
and-
found out? 8, 9?
Yeah, I was 8.
Yeah.
And so that kind of actually started my poetry journey for real.
Oh,
I
yeah.
used to write poetry. That's how I started. I didn't start like rapping and stuff like that. I always loved music, but I used to use poetry as a way to express like my emotions when I got to like an emotional high or low. So I remember writing.
Yeah, I was gonna ask
like,
you like
poetry.
how. So what was I mean, what was it like? Like when did you like get into writing like rhymes and like, well, outside of poetry, like when did you start writing like MC stuff? When did you start rapping like for real?
2012. I tried to do it. I tried to spit a verse before then, and it was terrible. And I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna put the mic down, because one of my homies knew that I sung, and he was just like, yo, I want you to sing some hooks on this project I'm working on. He had like a little mixtape or whatever. I was like, I had never been in the studio or nothing like that. I had never really sung for real in front of other people, so I was super nervous. The engineer was getting frustrated at me.
That first time in the studio was a whole different thing, bro.
Facts. And he was just like, man, I know you can sing.
Hey, man.
And I was just super nervous. I was just like, I don't know what to do. And so I ended up doing it. And then he was just like, I want you on this remix too. And he was going to put me on the remix. He was just like, just let me know what you want to do on it, and we can set it up and make sure you're straight. And so I was like, yo, low key, I think I want to rap on this joint. And so he was like, all right, if you want to rap on it, go ahead. And man, that verse was trash. That verse was terrible.
Hey, we all have those.
And delivery and all that stuff. So I was just like, you know what? This ain't for me. I'm gonna just put this down. I'm gonna stick to singing, because clearly that rapping ain't my ministry. And
So how did you segue that? How did you get the ability to learn how to do that, or like what inspired you to like keep going and pick the pen up to start rapping again? You know what I mean?
We decided to do, I ended up switching churches, and it was like a younger church. I ended up meeting my homie, shout out to my brother, Kelly Mack. I ended up meeting him there at that church, and he was just like, yo, he was doing secular rap at the time, and I was just big into Christian hip hop at that particular point in life. And this is around like 2010, 2011.
Okay, yeah.
And he was just like, yo, we should he was having conflict within himself as far as like still doing secular rap, but growing in his faith with God. And I remember he had a conversation with Andy Mineo at a 116 concert.
Yeah.
That I ended up taking him to, and he asked him about it. And after leaving that conversation, he kind of like made a decision and was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just take this rapping gift and use it for God. And
wow.
He was like, yo, we should do a mixtape for our church. And I was like, all right, bet, I'm down. You know what I mean? I sing, I'm into music. I was like, I might actually give rapping another chance. And I remember when I first picked the pen back up, KB was my favorite artist. So everything I was doing, I was trying to, KB.
Okay, yeah. Mr. Kevin Burgess, K to the second.
Yeah, K to the second. And it was just like every verse I would try, I'm trying to hit the double time cadences. I'm like saying so much in the verse, and I was able to do it, but the problem was once I started performing.
Yeah, it's a whole different level.
I can't. Yeah, I was like, I can't do this on stage the same
I'm
way
about to
in
die.
the studio. Right, I'm about to, my lungs are literally about to come
Yeah,
outside my chest.
yeah.
It was just like it was like, man, like I gotta figure out. So performing on stage kind of helped me like edit my writing to give spaces and give breaths in as I write. So that way I
Mm,
know if I want to do a section where I'm speeding up and going fast, all right, I need to put a break here. So that way I can either switch the flow or I can just at least catch my breath before I go into the next genre.
yeah.
So performing really helped me understand that part of like
Yeah,
writing rhymes.
performing will 100% do that to you as an artist. Like it's like I used to, I think when I was doing premises stuff, man, like I mean there was a point where I was writing most of my songs for the simple fact of I knew I wanted like all most of my songs. I'm like I could perform. How could I perform this?
Right.
So like my mind was like, even whenever I mix it, even whenever I would take down the make the live performance of it, I would be like, what parts do I need
Hmm.
to leave out so that way when I am running out of breath, I could be like, drop, let that junk carry, and then go. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that takes time to like during like when you're trying to like on the come up and you're like, man,
Right.
KB's my favorite rapper, and then you're like,
Facts.
I can't like rapping fast already in the booth. I've got to like punch in. Then I got to
Right.
go up and perform it with. If I don't have a hype man,
Right.
I might somebody go put me
Oh,
on a
it's
ventilator,
terrible.
bro.
Now that was what that so that it was a slow transition. So it was like when I was in the group, it was three of us. So it was just like, all right, if we doing this song, I need y'all to hit this line so I can catch a breath. And so that way, when I get here, y'all hit the line, I can catch my breath, I
Yep,
can go back into it.
yep,
And it was funny because it got to a point where uh I used to do everything in one take. Like
yep.
it wasn't no punches. Like I still don't really punch in like that, but now my writing style is catered to not punching in. So it's just
Yeah,
like I don't have to worry about trying to speed through everything. But it even when I was trying to rap like KB, it was a point where it was just like, nah, I'm not punching. I'm just gonna memorize the joint and I'm gonna hit it best I can. And eventually it would turn out good. It might take a while, but it would turn out well. And but the problem was when you're on stage and you're performing and you're jumping around, that breath gets real short.
yeah,
Because
yep,
you're gonna need that breath for energy of jumping around and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that breath get real short on you when you start moving. So it's like, yeah, you might have got this in the booth when you standing still, but the moment you start taking a few steps, you like, hold on, wait a minute, my
yeah,
chest get
bro.
tight.
Yes, yeah. And I mean, is there a reason why like is a lot of your music more chill now, or is it you feel like it's like heavy, like where it's like hype, bro? It's like we turn it up.
It's whatever I feel like, to be honest.
I feel that.
I'm a fan of more. I'm a fan of more thought-provoking records. So like my stuff it's gonna always have like melodies and vibey stuff. Like I'm a big fan of melodies and 808s. When it comes to like making music, so that's always gonna be something that's gonna be in my music, no matter if it's like a hard lyrical gritty type record or it's a super hype record or it's something super soulful. It's always gonna be melodies. It's always gonna be 808s involved. That's always like the bare minimum for me.
Sure, sure.
Melodies and 808s are always gonna be involved.
Well, you grew up in the
But
church with the background of singing, so I mean that makes sense.
right, right, and growing up on like old school R&B and gospel music, so it's like I didn't grow up like my sister pretty much introduced me to hip hop.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Who was
just
the first
her being
rapper?
older.
I mean, who's the first rapper that made you want to rap? Was it KB?
No,
Oh, okay, okay.
well, made me want to, or like made me want to try it. It might have been KB. I don't know.
Okay, okay,
It might have been KB or Lecrae.
okay.
Um,
That's dope.
but I've always been a fan of hip hop ever since my sister introduced me to it. Cause you know, you got an older sibling. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah, they
If your
putting you
parents
on.
not home. They the first babysitter.
Yep.
So you got that over, and she's like 8 years older than me. So
Oh yeah,
if she watching MTV,
getting to
I'm
work.
watching MTV. Right. If she watching BET, I'm watching BET.
Yeah,
So
yep, yep.
it's like that's how I got introduced to hip hop and to rap, and so I kind of fell in love with the art form. of hip hop and rap with the Biggies, the Tupacs, the Nas's, the Outkast, the Busta Rhymes, the Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah, I think I've seen a post of yours that Outkast is like one of your favorite or biggest influences in hip hop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because I always loved how creative they were, how elite they both are at like lyrical ability, and then just how they can make a song about real topics and make it a bop.
Yeah.
Like it was just so dope. Like the way they approach music, and so that always inspired me to never limit yourself creatively.
Nah, I love that, bro. Love that. Yeah, that's Outkast is always one of the most. I would say they're easily the best duo in hip hop. Period.
Facts.
Like I don't think there's a duo better.
Facts.
Than them. And like and the thing, I mean, like I think I seen Andy Mineo's recent project where he's literally talking to Andre, which is crazy, by the way. Was not expecting that to be on that project.
Right.
But I think like what's cool.
It makes sense though once you hear the song.
Oh, 100%. I was like, yo, I can hear the influence.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's.
I would have never thought that until he said it, and I was just like, yo, you know what?
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yep. Facts. Because you can, I mean, just the style of taking the risky approaches to some of the samples to. You know what I mean? Like the way he flipped them, the way he just, even mixed some of his songs was not the normal way that everybody else is doing it.
Right.
So, yeah, it takes guts to be able to do stuff like that. Like he was like, you made Hey Ya in the middle of G Unit.
Facts. That's gangster.
Wild. Yeah, that's super gangster, bro. It's like G Unit's running it.
I didn't think about that until he pointed that out. I was like, yo, that did come out there.
Yeah, facts, bro. Crazy era, man.
Facts.
So how did you what type of games do you play outside of Call of Duty, right? I know you play a little bit of Call of Duty, you know what I mean? But like what are some games, man, that you play? How did gaming get into, JusRZD life, man? How did that happen?
I've been gaming since Super Mario.
Nice. That's the same. Super Mario, like on Super Nintendo, right?
No, Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, you're talking about Super Mario, like
NES.
OG Nintendo.
Yeah. Super Mario and Duck Hunt was the first game I remember ever playing. And I remember going over my cousin's house, playing that joint, and having no idea what is happening, but just enjoying it. And I remember my other cousin in California ended up buying me the Nintendo, me and my sister, and then we ended up getting a Super Nintendo. Then we ended up getting a 64.
Just down the line, it's history.
Then my other cousin that we grew up with, she ended up giving me a PlayStation from one of her friends, and that's how I got into PlayStation. Like, it was kind of dope how it came about. But yeah, I've been gaming forever, man.
Nice.
Like, I've always been a fan of video games. Me and my sister used to play together when we were younger, and then of course as she got older, she kind of fell off from video games. But I still play.
Nah, that's dope, man. That's I think a lot of us who are creatives, man, I feel like gaming has always been like a creative outlet space. You know what I mean? Like to exist in kind of that world and in that space. At least for me. And I was always competitive too. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I enjoy all the shooters and all that kind of stuff, because I was big in sports growing up. So like when I play these, I feel like I'm being a little competitive sweatbox, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Oh.
But yeah, for me, I play. It's funny, man. I didn't even get into first-person shooters for real until like a few years ago.
Oh, okay. What is your main cup of tea?
It depends. Now I like first-person shooters, but at first I was more so like, I like third-person. Like, I always like seeing my person do.
Yeah. Did you play Gears of War?
I did, but I don't own I never owned an Xbox. So I only
Oh,
played
I
it
was
when I
like
went over
third
to, like,
person
the homie's
shooters,
house.
man, from
But
back in the day.
I
Gears of
loved
War
Gears of
was
War.
sheesh.
I loved Gears of War.
Yeah, man, that was
I
my
loved
game,
Gears of
bro.
War. Yeah.
Yeah.
And but yeah, for me, like right now, I be on Apex heavy. I be on Marvel Rivals just dropped, so I play that sometimes.
Yeah,
with
how
my
you like
producer, with the
Marvel
homies.
Rivals right now?
So here's what I say. I hate Overwatch because of the way
Same.
it plays, but Marvel Rivals is fun when you're playing with people that you know. Because it's like it's pretty much Overwatch with Marvel characters, so it's like one of the other reasons why I didn't like Overwatch is because I had no idea what was going on, nor did I know any character or what their relevance.
Yeah,
to the story
exactly.
was.
That was
So
me for.
I'm nothing invested in it.
Same.
So with Marvel Rivals, it's fun because it's like I know these characters. Like we grew up on Marvel, so it's
Right.
like I know Wolverine, I know Black Panther,
Yep.
I know Hulk, I know all these characters. So it's just like it's fun because I'm familiar.
Yeah.
But
Familiarity
I still don't
helps
really like
for
the way
sure.
it plays like that, but it's fun. Like I said, when you playing with people who know how to play and you're playing with your friends.
Yeah,
So
no,
that's the
I've
fun
only
part
played
about it.
Marvel Rivals like one time, like last weekend, but like I didn't really get a
Yeah.
full. I mean, I got a full understanding of it, but like I didn't play Overwatch for similar reasons. It was just like
Right.
plus I'm not big. I mean, I get it is a strategy based shooter.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it does take some strategy to be able to do those things.
Right.
Like have a healer, all that kind of stuff, but.
Right.
I don't know, man. Like I'm more of give me my gun, square up. Let's go. Let's
Facts.
like if you can't
And
like
it's weird
there's-
having a shoot. It's weird having a shooter with no tactical sprint. I'm like, bro, this is awkward.
Oh yeah. Well, that's that Counter-Strike. You know what I mean? Counter-Strike was like that.
Right. Yeah.
But
And
it's-
so it's I do a game I do love in which they would return back to their old ways. Is Battlefield. I love Battlefield 4.
Yeah.
Battlefield 4 was crazy.
Yeah.
Hardpoint was fire. I mean, not Hardpoint. Hardline was fire too. But 2042 was garbage.
Yeah. It's
Like,
funny.
it
We were
was
talking
not
about Battlefield last night, and I'm like, I like Battlefield, but I also don't like it because it's such a simulator-based game. Like you gotta, it
Right.
feels it's so realistic feeling, man, and like.
Yeah, see, I
Which
like
is
that,
cool.
though.
I do like it, but I'm like, bro, like there's 80 people on the board. I'm like, dog, it's a little too chaotic for me. I got choppers, I got helicopters, I got the choppers, I got the airplanes, I got dudes. I'm like, God. Tanks.
I feel you. It can get overwhelming. It can definitely get overwhelming.
Yeah, bro. Junk is wild, bro. Let me ask you this. What do you feel like is do you feel like there's as a creative, man, because for you, man, you do more than just music, right? We talked about your music.
Right.
But man, I after following you for a little bit of time now, I've seen that you're more than just that. And most creatives do have more to offer than just their music. You know what I'm saying? Hence
Right.
what I do. Like I rap, but like I love to make content. I love to talk with people. I love to create a space and environments and like for people to thrive in and have community in. Like so like that's me. But like for you, like what are the things that you're kind of seeing yourself, man, like doing in this season? Like I know you mentioned your YouTube stuff. Like how did that come about, like, and not just sticking to music? What made you want to do kind of pairing some of those things together for yourself, you know what I mean?
I gotta credit my OG Ruslan, man. Like he really I remember when we were in when I was in his Patreon, that's one thing he used to always say before and this was like pre-pandemic. He would always say like find a way to be useful outside of music. Find a way to be useful without just relying on your ability to do music. Like find other ways to reach people. And for me, the top of this year, I got a close circle of homies that we'll always talk about different movies we might pull up to go see. or we'll talk about shows that we watched. And you know, sometimes you get busy, that watch list start getting fuller and fuller.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? And so
Yep.
it's just like I was watching the stuff, but I ain't had nobody to talk to it about. So it's like
Yeah.
because nobody had watched it yet. So it's like, dang, I don't want to spoil nothing, but I want to talk about this scenario. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna start doing like reviews on shows that I'm watching and just throw it on YouTube because I'm already the type of person that'll watch a series and then after I watch something, especially like super comic booky,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna watch Emergency Awesome's video breaking down everything right
Yep.
after that.
Mercy
And
Awesome
so
is
it's just like
they're super good with those breakdowns, man.
facts, facts. And so I love watching his channel and watching his stuff. I'm like, bro, I may not be able to go as deep in depth as he is with it, but I can at least get my perspective on it and just talk about it like I would with the homies.
But
And so
yeah,
that's what I just
100%.
started doing.
Yeah, man. I
And
feel
so it
that.
started with reviewing shows, and then I found out how to like do reactions. So I started doing that for like trailers and stuff like that. And then it just kind of developed one kind of series at a time. Like I did the show, did reviewing shows, and I wanted to start with at least being consistent with one video a week. And then I went from one video a week to a couple videos a week to at least 5 videos a week, Monday through Friday. Then I was like, I'm already doing this. I might as well be doing every day. So now I'm dropping videos every day,
Oh
depending on
wow.
what it is that I'm doing. But it's different videos. Some of it could be reactions, some of it could be reviews, some of it's now I'm doing album reviews.
Yep, yep,
And then I also got a segment called Behind the Soul where I'm just breaking down the creative process behind songs, talking about life, talking about faith, talking about a lot
yep.
of different things.
Yeah.
And so it's just interesting how it develops once you start doing a thing. And that's why I know it's kind of cliche now, but a lot of people have that saying like, don't wait for the perfect setup, don't wait for the perfect timing, just start.
Yep,
Because you
yep.
never know what can develop from you just starting and just
Yeah,
doing
that's
it.
good,
Like,
bro.
I shoot everything from my phone. Like I edit everything in my phone. Like
Bro.
as you can see, this is my backdrop. Like this
Bro,
is what
yeah,
I be having
that's what you
in my
gotta do, man.
videos.
Just
So it's
start.
like,
Like you ain't gotta
just
you gotta have
start.
the perfect setup. Just start, bro.
Right. Just start and then see where it takes you. See if it's even something that you like to do. Because not everybody has to make content or has to do stuff. You can legit just work a 9 to 5 and be there for your family. Like if that's what you want
Right.
to do. You don't have to like always be seen and be known. And I'm not the type of person. I'm introvert for real, for real. I'm not the type of
Oh,
person that's
okay.
like look at me type of person.
Right.
Like that's why I was struggling so much with like the music promo because I'm like, bro, I don't really like doing this. Like, I love creating music and I love making music, but I don't really like the whole promo gag. Like, I don't
Yeah.
really like.
That's a
Hey,
whole nother
listen to my
element,
new
bro.
song. Like, yeah, it's a whole nother element. Some people are great at it, and I found a way to be decent at it. But then it would like I would get frustrated when certain stuff wouldn't get the engagement that the last one
Oh
got.
yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah.
like certain stuff started kind of irritating me a little bit, and so I was just like, you know what, I need to chill for a little bit and get some stuff together. And then once I oh this person,
Yup, there they come.
man, this one hardcore, he would have been dead. I almost shot a teammate. Well, but yeah, it's just like just seeing that and just understanding that and like 2025, I'm gonna get back into doing music promo and stuff like that. But like, I was shocked to even see my numbers increase this year, and I ain't promo none of my music for
Hey,
real. Like,
praise,
not
man.
at
That's
all. But
dope.
hey, that's all God.
Yeah.
It was a slight increase, but it was still an increase. And it's just like, hey,
Hey, take every bit of it
praise
you
God.
can, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. And that's
Yup.
how I look at it. Like, I'm always a silver lining type of person. Like, at the end of the day, it could always be worse, but thank God it ain't.
Yeah, no, that's real, man. I love that. I love that perspective, bro. I think, you know, as a creative, man, it's encouraging to hear that because I think a lot of us, you know, it is easy to get trapped in the numbers game. It's easy to get trapped in the, you know what I mean? Like, you know, not being content with where certain things are at and like the, you know what I mean? Like it is hard, man. And I mean, I've been there when I was doing premises stuff. There was struggle with comparison game to other artists at certain points. You know what I'm saying? And God had to really check me later during my like 7 years away from putting out music publicly and really doing much of anything publicly as far as like as an artist, because I went from that's all I was doing to like for years to now I'm not doing music anymore, and now I'm not doing that.
Right.
And you start to find your self-worth in those things. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
sometimes, man, like God will have you step away just so you can, gain a bigger perspective of things. And then that's where I'm at now, is jumping back in and realizing like, yo, like I am not focused on trying to hit all these like number games right now. I'm like, bro, I just want to do what God has called me to do. I still love to do music, and God's like, hey man, it's a tool, bro. Like whether it goes into the thousands or whatever, or if it's just a couple hundred, or if it's only whatever, I don't care. I'm like, bro, I'm not focused. Like somebody asked me like a couple months ago when I put my first single out as Justin Mitchell, like not as Premises. My first song came out this summer, and I was like, bro, like it's I'm starting from scratch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, because when you're gone for like 7 some years from the public, you're kind of starting all over again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so somebody asked me, hey, like, how many Spotify followers you got? And da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, bro, I have no idea. Like, I don't know. I was just like, bro, like, I really don't. I was like, and I told him, I was like, bro, like, I really don't care. I really don't care what my numbers are. I'm just trying to make good music that I enjoy and that I know is gonna be, you know what I mean, like good top as far as good quality as I can make, and then like, you know what I mean. And I just want to honor the Lord with what my gifts and abilities to do the things I love to do, and so yeah, bro.
That's facts. That's facts. And it's interesting because the only thing that would bother me number-wise, it wouldn't even be the songs and the streams. It would be the promotional stuff that would bother me. So it's like the social media algorithms that would piss me off. It's not even the Spotify streams or the Apple Music streams. Like streams, I already know the stream game is what it is. So it's just like my expectation for that. I'm just blessed to be have people listen to my music.
Right.
Like, so it's just like the fact that one person streamed it, I'm grateful. But it's just like what bothered me was the whole algorithm, and then at one point Instagram had me shadow banned for whatever reason. I don't even know why. All I was doing was music promotion. So it is before I started doing the anime and comic book stuff. And so it was just like, bruh, I'm over here trying my hardest to put out content, and then y'all limiting my views for no reason. It's like, bro, what is happening? There's no reason why you have anywhere over 1,000 or so followers, and 90% of your fan base can't, or the people that are following you don't even get to see what you post. Like that's crazy. But when you start digging into like the algorithms and how they're set up, it's just like, bro, this is wild. Y'all just want us to pay for promotion instead of like actually allowing the people who ask to follow us see the stuff that we post. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, no,
that's what was pissing me off.
Yeah, and that's understandable too, especially if you're gonna put money into something. It gets, you know what I mean? Like it is different. You know what I mean? No game available to play. What is this talking about? Retry?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did that happen to you?
Well, you're the party leader, so I can't do nothing.
Oh, okay. No, you're good. It just popped up. I just didn't know if like it messed up on me, but it kept you in the game. I was like, yo, what is going on?
Nah.
Ah, okay.
The game ended, or did it kick it?
Yeah, no, that was it. That was the end of the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought it ended. But...
So like, do you feel like there's tension that you wrestle with being a creative and a Christian? Is there any tension that you wrestle with sometimes? You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
Like just being a creative, like so being a Christian and being a creative in, I guess, in hip hop. Is there ever any tension that you wrestle with, like how you communicate or what you communicate? Like, and I guess this can kind of be another question on top of it, is like, because sometimes I feel like in this era I feel like Christian hip hop is in its most creative it's been in maybe forever, right? It's super creative right now. But on the flip side of that, like sometimes I feel like there's sometimes like, is there a line with our creativity? Is there ever a line? Like we have the creative freedoms because God gave us creativity and be free and set free to
Got
create.
you.
But
Gotcha. I think I get what you
you
asking.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is there a line?
feel
Is there a
like-
line ever for the Christian to observe and say, hey, you know what? All things may be permissible, but not all things are beneficial, right? Like at what, where
There's
is that?
that comes to mind?
Yeah.
There's that scripture that comes to mind as far as stuff being permissible, but is it beneficial? So I'm gonna tie it off with these certain train of thoughts. Shout out to Rusan again for something he's always championed. For me, the line is always, am I making evil good?
Yeah.
Like, am I making evil good, or am I? Because you can tell a story that
Right.
has that has elements of wickedness in it, and then at the end of the story, you could tie it to a positive outcome,
Sure.
or a structured outcome, or just a outcome that shows you that there's no profit in living this way or doing this particular thing. Like, I feel like personally, as Christians, we should be able to talk about whatever we feel like we want to talk about, as long as that line of calling evil good is not crossed.
That's good.
Now, with that, going back to the scripture that you said, everything's permissible, but is it worth it? Is it profitable? Like, is it something that we should do? I feel like that comes to expectations. What are you expecting from this? Like, you can't, for instance, I have several songs where I use a particular choice word. I say the N
Yeah,
word in
yeah.
certain songs.
Yeah.
That's how I talk.
Right.
That's how I talk. So it's
Right.
instead of me trying to hide it for the music and then you meet me in person and that's how I talk, I'm going to put it in the music.
Right.
And if you don't like that song, that's fine. There may
Right.
be a clean version available. There may not be a clean version available, but you also don't have to listen to that song. But I
Right.
also don't expect you to champion that song either if that's not your thing. It's cool.
Yeah.
If you prefer that if you prefer your music to not have that in there, hey, God bless you.
Yeah.
If you like it with it in there, God bless you. Like, either way, it doesn't matter. It's not going to change the message behind what I'm actually talking about.
Yeah.
What I'm actually talking about is something from either a Christian perspective or from a Christian point of view, or I'm telling a specific story for a specific reason
Right.
that you have to tap into to understand. Because, like I said, I started this with poetry. So with poetry, you have like license to be creative and free with whatever you write for the most part. So it's just like you're not bound to a cadence, you're not bound to a rhythm or a beat. You're just getting your thoughts out,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
getting your thoughts off. So a lot of times the way I approach stuff, it is feel, vibe, and it's what thought do I feel, like what thought am I getting from this beat? Like, I usually write to music. I know some people just write and then they'll look for a beat later. I'm the type of person, just turn the beat on. I might have a hook in 5 minutes, like just
Right.
based off of how the beat's making me feel. And based off of that, I can take whatever I'm writing as the hook and now construct verses to that. So
Yeah.
it's just like whatever it speaks to me in my spirit, then that's what I'm gonna portray
For
on
sure.
the record. So it's
Yeah.
just like, as long as you're not calling evil good, then
Rock
we
with
should
it.
be able to talk about whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think we're seeing a lot more Christian artists step into that space of,
Hmm.
as long as I'm not calling evil good, right? Like, and I think that's
Right.
that is a biblical thing, right? Where you see people, the Bible talks about that there are going to be people that will start calling evil good, you know what I mean? And good
Hmm.
evil, right? And so
Hmm.
that is 100%. I agree with you. And I think there is a way to talk about sometimes where it's hard. It's hard because music is so different in entertainment world in comparison to like movies, right? Like
Hmm.
movies we know are, unless it says this is a, even if it says this is an autobiography, like this is a auto pick, this is a biopic of whoever's life, we already know like that's not actually them on the screen, and it's a replay.
Right.
It's a replay of telling of their life. The problem with a lot of like music is especially in hip hop, rappers rap as if they're currently doing whatever it is they're talking about.
Right.
So the weird line sometimes gets blurry with music, and that in any other art form of creativeness. I feel like with music, people can, especially in today where only one song makes a playlist. Like to your point, albums don't really go out like they do, but it's very very few and far between where the whole album is digested in the way that you know what I'm saying. And so like when you know an artist has a single or a song that makes a playlist, and it's only a portion of the story of the project, some people only hear that one part, and then they're like, that's what this person's about, and it's like, yeah, nah, that's not that's not really
was a piece of the story of the whole project.
right. And so in the world that happens, but even in the Christian space, that could happen depending on how people, you know, are out there talking or doing or so whatever. And so like I always just wondered with other artists, because everybody has their own convictions, everybody's got their own spaces where God is like, hey, for you need to pump the brakes here. You probably need to pump the brakes here. And it's like, at what point does that kind of start? And like this kind of segues into another question, I guess, for as we get ready to wrap this thing up, is do you feel like listeners actually care about lyricism in hip hop as much as they used to some odd years ago? Or do you feel like that has changed in today's climate?
I feel like it's so I kind of feel like that particular question is I feel like some do, some don't. Is more of a, it feels like the listener is more geared toward connection at this particular point over necessarily just in general. Like when you find your niche and you find your tribe, there are people who love gritty lyricism
Sure.
and that sect of hip hop, and you could literally have a career in that sect, in that niche of hip hop, and you could try to venture out and do other things, and it could work for you creatively, and then sometimes it can fall flat. But this goes back to what we were talking about as far as expectation. You got to understand that with trying something new, you do have a possibility of alienating that fan base, but you also have the possibility of gaining more of a fan base over here if you do it correctly. So it's just like, just understanding how marketing works and just understanding how the market works. And just with people, like, I feel like some people do care about lyricism, and then you got some people who, I'm just here for the production and the beat.
Right, the
And
vibes.
if it's cadence slide, you know what I mean, like the vibes. And so it's just like that's some people's bag. They only want to listen to music that's gives them a good vibe. And then some people want to listen to what you're saying. And then you got some people who rather watch a podcast. So it's like you got a bunch of different audiences.
Yeah.
And I feel like with social media, and kind of the way the landscape has been shifting, it's more so about that connection and finding that connection in those different niches. And once people start rocking with you, low key, you could kind of creatively express how you feel like it. Once they start rocking with you as a person.
Right. Because they're
like,
not there. They're not there
LaRussell,
they're not there for just the music. They're there because it's you.
Right. They're there for you. Like you look at a LaRussell, his song, it's maybe 3 or 4 songs of his, and I'm like, yo, this joint is actually like cold. But I rock with LaRussell as a person and what he stands for as far as like teaching artists independence. And he's not a Christian artist, but he champions independence as a secular artist and putting his own people on, putting new acts on, and just really getting out the mud and just doing it yourself and not waiting for people to back you, but actually going out and doing it yourself and doing it to the best of your ability. And it's just like I rock with that more than I rock with his music.
Nah, that's
but
good,
he
bro.
do got some bops.
Yeah.
But because I rock with his, even if it's a song I'm not really feeling, I still might listen.
Facts.
Because I rock with him.
With that dude is just a person.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's good, bro. No, that's good, man. I think that's definitely where we're at as far as I can see that. I agree with that. But I do think lyricism, as far as like storytelling or just like being able to be
Hmm.
poetic, or just even punchlines to just really caring about what you're saying on a record, like I think those things always go longer than just the bops, because the bops come and
Oh,
go.
facts.
Bops will come and go, but the lyrics never die, bro. Like they'll stay
Exactly.
going forever and ever. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man,
No, that's facts.
I wanted to, before we hop off here, is I don't know if you have it. You know what I'm saying? You got
Ah.
you know what I'm saying?
uh, yeah, no, I got
You
you.
got
You
you
can
got a
talk.
little you got a little you got a little something in the pocket. You got something tucked.
I might, I might have a verse. I
All
might
right,
have a verse.
hey, we got hold on, we got my boy JusRZD. He's gonna kick off the first official Creative in God mode 16 bars right here, bro, or just a verse or half a verse, whatever we gonna get. Because this is, to me, like, I'm an MC, I'm a lyricist, man. I enjoy it. Like
No,
that's
for sure.
I think that is it's shown that, you know, you look at the K dots, you look at the what's happened in battle with them battling each other, him and Drake, you look at the other scenarios within hip hop, like people care, they do care about what you have to say, because people are paying more attention.
Facts.
I think they're paying more attention now than what they were several years ago. But
Facts.
but yeah, like I mean, it is about connection with the audience and what you have to say more than it is about, you know, a bar may not have to be a punchline that's like, you know, flying on top like a airplane and blah blah blah, like you know what I mean. You ain't gotta do all that like all the time. Like you could say something that's like, some of the hardest bars are like just real life stuff. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but bro, thank you again for just joining us on this episode. This is the second episode of the Creative in God Mode podcast, where we get it in and we talk about faith, we talk about hip hop, and we talk about gaming and content creation. We did all that here today, man. So thank you for your time. I appreciate all the things you do in this space, bro. Like you are trailblazing some things. You got some really dope content, and I hope you guys will go on Spotify. You guys will go on Apple Music. Go check out JusRZD. Y'all go support this brother. Go turn him up and spread it up. Let everybody know about his music, man. It's really dope. So he's got a lot of stuff coming out, I'm sure, next year as well. And yeah, man, you guys have a blessed one, and thanks for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Peace.